Amazon S3 buckets are fundamental storage containers in AWS. In this tutorial, we'll learn how to create and configure S3 buckets to store your data in the cloud. S3 provides secure, durable, and highly scalable object storage that can handle everything from simple file storage to complex data lakes. An S3 bucket is essentially a container for storing objects, which are simply files and their associated metadata. Think of it as a top-level folder in the cloud. Each bucket must have a globally unique name across all of AWS, meaning no two buckets anywhere in the world can share the same name. Buckets are created in a specific AWS region of your choice, but once created, they can be accessed from anywhere. The storage capacity of a bucket is virtually unlimited, allowing you to store as much data as you need without worrying about running out of space. When creating an S3 bucket, you must follow specific naming rules. First, bucket names must be between 3 and 63 characters long. Second, you can only use lowercase letters, numbers, and hyphens in your bucket name. Third, the name must start and end with either a letter or a number, not a hyphen. Finally, you cannot format your bucket name like an IP address, such as 192.168.1.1. These rules ensure consistency and prevent conflicts across the AWS ecosystem. Creating a bucket through the AWS Management Console is straightforward. First, navigate to the S3 console from your AWS dashboard. Next, click the Create Bucket button to start the creation process. Then, enter a unique bucket name that follows the naming rules we discussed. After that, select the AWS region where you want your bucket to be created, choosing a region close to your users for better performance. Finally, configure any additional options based on your requirements and click Create to finish the process. You can also create buckets using the AWS Command Line Interface, or CLI. The basic command is AWS S3 API create dash bucket, followed by 2 flags. The dash bucket flag specifies your unique bucket name, and the dash region flag specifies the AWS region. For example, US-East-1. An important note: for regions outside of US-East-1, you'll need to add a location constraint parameter to specify the bucket's region explicitly. This command provides a quick, scriptable way to create buckets, which is especially useful for automation. S3 buckets offer several important configuration options. Versioning allows you to keep multiple versions of objects, providing protection against accidental deletions or overwrites. Encryption enables server-side encryption to protect your data at rest automatically. Logging helps you track all requests made to your bucket, which is useful for auditing and compliance. Tags let you organize your buckets and track costs by applying key value pairs for categorization. Each of these options can be enabled during bucket creation or configured later based on your needs. Controlling access to your S3 buckets is critical for security. There are 3 main methods. Bucket policies are JSON-based documents that define permissions directly on the bucket, allowing or denying actions for specific users or services. IAM policies provide user and role-based access control, attached to individual IAM identities rather than the bucket itself. Block public access is a security feature that prevents accidental public exposure of your bucket and its contents. By default, all new buckets have block public access enabled, which is a best practice to maintain. Let's review some best practices for managing S3 buckets. First, enable versioning to protect your data from accidental deletion and allow easy recovery of previous versions. Second, use encryption both at rest and in transit to secure your data throughout its lifecycle. Third, keep block public access enabled by default to prevent unintended exposure of sensitive data. Fourth, apply tags consistently for cost tracking and organizational purposes, making it easier to manage multiple buckets across your AWS account. Following these practices will help you maintain secure, well-organized, and cost-effective S3 storage.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.